Uhuru, we are live. Live at 12:05 Pacific time.
This will be interesting. All right, so I got to make sure my volume is turned down on here. Yeah, there you are.
Yay. Oh, I see Jesse. Hello, MC Queen B. Good to have you. Hello, Peaceful Pauses. Oh, that is my dear, dear friend. Hello. Good to see you. Uhuru, welcome everyone. We're going to give everyone a moment to get settled. We're trying something new on our live today. We're in the process of potentially moving over to a different streaming platform. But while we figure that out, we're trying to do like a Zoom, Facebook Live, Instagram, multiple device situation. So we'll see if it works out. You'll have to give us feedback and let us know. All right. I will be joined by my fabulous comrade, Jesse Neville, here in just a moment. I see you've requested to join. Yes. Yes. I would like to go live with Jesse. Yes, please.
All right.
Awesome. All right. I think I got you.
We're live all over the place.
There we go. How's your sound?
I'm getting some feedback here.
Okay. I turned my volume down on the Zoom.
Maybe try the other way. Turn your volume down on Instagram, and then.
Thanks everyone for standing by. Okay, how's this? Is this a little better?
Yes.
Amazing.
Well,
those of you who are
not yet.
Not yet.
Still getting a little echo.
Let's see. Those of you who are watching right now, can you tell us how you feel about our audio? How's that sound for everyone?
I have an idea.
Let us know in the chat what this audio sounds like. Is it terrible? Is it echoing? What's happening?
All right, how about now? Nope.
That sounds really good on your end. How's it sound? Like there's no more echo from me.
Oh, okay. Then we should be good then.
Yeah. Can we get like a thumbs up from someone in the chat? It sounds good to me. I hope it sounds good to y'all. I don't want you to miss what we're saying. All right, cool. I don't see anything happening in the chat, so it must be all right.
Okay, yeah, everyone's saying echo is better. So.
Yeah? Oh, I see a thumbs up. Yay, thanks for the feedback, everyone.
Okay.
All right, we did it, Comrade Jesse. We were able to achieve it. Uhuru. Well, welcome everyone. I know it's like 8 minutes past the time and a little bit later than our usual time today, but Uhuru, welcome. I am Anya Close, Outreach Chair of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, and today I am joined by my fabulous comrade, Jesse Neville. Say hello, Jesse.
Uhuru, Anya, Uhuru, everyone.
Uhuru. So today we are here to talk about something that happened over the weekend. We're going to keep it short and sweet like we usually try to do, of course. But if you haven't heard the news, there was a colonial attack on the Uhuru House in St. Pete, Florida, on the black, red, and green flag. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So Uhuru means freedom. Thank you, Jesse, for being here. I know we want to salute the leadership of Chairman Omali Yeshitela and Deputy Chair Onazane Yeshitela for their incredible leadership. We would not be here without them, for sure. But I want to get right into it and talk about what happened on Saturday, July 2nd, this past weekend at 10:15 a.m. There was a man with a flamethrower who pulled up to the Uhuru House, which is our headquarters, and pulled out a flamethrower, y'all, like a literal flamethrower, okay? And set fire to the black, green, and red flag. And so that's what we're here to talk about today. We're gonna put a link to that in our Instagram and all of our social media accounts. We've already been kind of talking about it this week, but we'll make sure that we get a link so that you can read the article about it. But the group's director of agitation and propaganda, Akile, was, of course, interviewed about this. And the article I'm going to be referring to right now is from the Burning Spear newspaper, which is the newspaper that we, of course, align with and try to get out as much as possible. And so Akile said that in this interview that the attack was in the same vein as the May killing of 10 Black people at a Buffalo, New York supermarket. And police say the suspect arrested in the Buffalo massacre is a white nationalist. We can only assume the same from this attack. Akile said that a social system and facade of normalcy based on oppression, colonialism, and exploitation causes such attacks, right? So I just want to kind of take a moment to get, Jesse, your thoughts on just this attack and what this means. What are your thoughts on this, Jesse?
Uhuru. So I'm still hearing a little bit of an echo for me, but maybe.
You sound good on my end. Oh.
Still good?
Just still a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll roll with it. Well, yeah, I just wanted to, appreciate, being able to discuss this. And it was a very, very serious thing that happened in St. Petersburg, Florida on Saturday morning. As you said, Anya, an agent of the colonial state, came into the parking lot of the Uhuru House in Florida, the Uhuru House, which has been there for over 20 years, which is a beloved institution of the African community, not just in St. Petersburg, but around the world. People recognize it. It's iconic. It's a landmark. And not only that, but it is home to Black Power 96 radio station, where many volunteers from the community have programs on the air. It's the home of where the Burning Spear newspaper is printed. It's where the Uhuru Jiko Community Commercial Kitchen is. It's where Aquaba Hall is. People have weddings, birthdays, events, organizing rallies. Like, it is a hub of African political and cultural life. And next to that building, there flies a 30-foot flagpole, and on top of it, there's a beautiful red, black, and green flag, just like there is here in St. Louis, just like there is out in Oakland, California. So as you said, this person drives into the parking lot, sits there for 5 minutes, gets out, and you can watch the security footage. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend that you go to the African People's Socialist Party's Facebook page and look at what happened. You can see the security footage, this very creepy footage of this person getting out of their car, pulling a huge backpack out filled with fuel and a flamethrower, taking this military grade flamethrower, pointing it up at the flag and shooting a stream of fire 30 feet into the air to torch the red, black, and green flag, until somebody in the building saw what was happening through the window, ran out to try to stop this person, and he gets in his car and drives off, right? And you can see a little American flag bumper sticker on the back of his car. And of course, this happened just a few days before, 2 days before the so-called 4th of July, celebrating the birthday, as they say, of US imperialism. And last year, a few days before the 4th of July, the red, black, and green flag was stolen from the Uhuru House in St. Louis, Missouri, where I'm located right now. So this is clearly the desperation of the white power social system that is dying because African people are winning. African people are liberating themselves. Like, the flag is not an empty symbol. The flag represents liberated territory, power. So that's why it represents an existential threat to colonialism and anybody who wants to defend and uphold colonialism, which is why they would go to such lengths to actually burn a hole through the flag of African liberation, because of what it represents. Because it's not just a piece of fabric flying in the wind. It represents power. And that's what they want to attack, is the fight for Black power and the fight for African liberation. So it was really, really important, and is really important, for white people to take this seriously and to speak out. That's why we felt like it was urgent to do this live stream today as the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, to say that we absolutely vehemently denounce this terrorist attack. That's what it was. It was a colonial terror attack against the Black community, against the Black power movement, against the Uhuru movement and the African People's Socialist Party. We vehemently denounce it, and we call on all white people who believe in justice and liberation for African and oppressed peoples to defend the Uhuru House, to defend the Uhuru movement, to defend the red, black, and green flag, and to join the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, which ultimately, the best thing you can do to defend the African People's Socialist Party is to build its organizations, of which the Uhuru Solidarity Movement is one. So join the Uhuru Solidarity Movement and bring other white people into this. And yeah, I'll turn it back over to you.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. And this, to me, like, I don't know about you, Jesse, but, and again, sorry, I know we're still dealing with sound things, but I don't know about you, but of course, once I found out everyone was okay, I was actually kind of like, you know what? This means the party is winning. Okay. That's what this means. If we're agitating enough to the point where somebody feels like they need to come in with a flamethrower and set fire to the flag representing the liberation of African people, we must be doing something right. So that's kind of how I felt. And I really, again, like, just want to reiterate what Jesse said. If you're a white person and you know, there's all kinds of indications of the crisis of capitalism right now. Mass shootings, we've got here in the Yukon, we've got mudslides and wildfires. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court is, you know, stopping the ability for anyone to regulate what goes on in the environment. Like, this is all happening within the context of the crisis of capitalism. And now you have this person coming to the Uhuru house, bringing out a flamethrower and setting the, you know, black, green, and red flag on fire. Like, this just indicates that the party is winning to me. And so, yeah, if you're a white person and you want to be a part of actually creating change and making material conditions change, making a difference, actually defending freedom and liberation for all people, join us in the Uhuru Solidarity Movement. Why haven't you joined us yet? Just join us already. And I guess kind of the last little thing I wanted to touch on, because Jesse, when we were talking about this yesterday, you were telling me a little bit about the history of the flag, which I didn't know, and I was super happy to learn from you. So if you don't mind taking a second and just give us like a little overview of like, what is the importance of this flag? Like, where does this history come from?
Definitely. And this is something that I learned from the Uhuru movement, from the chairman, from the African People's Socialist Party, that the red, black, and green flag was designed to represent African people worldwide. It's the flag of the African nation worldwide, Africans in the US, Africans all around the world as one nation, which is something that the Uhuru movement strongly believes in and fights for and upholds. And that particular flag was adopted by the Universal Negro Improvement Association, which was the organization of Marcus Garvey, who was an African anti-imperialist who built actually the largest revolutionary African movement, or possibly revolutionary movement period, that has ever existed. In the 1920s, he built a movement that had up to 11 million members and supporters around the world of African people fighting for the unification and liberation of Africa. And at Madison Square Garden in New York City in 1920, the Garvey movement held a convention of Africans from around the world that had up to 50,000 people from all over the world who came to New York to participate in shaping the future of what Africa and African freedom would look like. And one of the things they did at that conference, that Congress, was to vote for the red, black, and green. You know, the red signifying the sacrifices, the blood of the people who fought for Africa, the black signifying the people, and the green signifying the land. So this is the flag that is recognized around the world as the flag of African liberation. And it's definitely the flag that you know, again, flies next to Uhuru houses throughout the country and throughout the world. And the flag of the African People's Socialist Party is actually the red, black, and green flag with a red star in the middle, you know, representing the leadership of the African working class in fighting for the liberation of the African nation.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I was so grateful to learn that yesterday. And again, just like being a member of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, understanding that I am working as a white person under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party, who is taking on the task of continuing the work of Marcus Garvey. It just personally, it makes me really feel grounded in a movement that has started before I was even, you know, a twinkle in my parents' eye, right? Like this is the movement that I just feel so humbled and so grateful to join, because it's not just something that popped up in the past 5 years, even though, of course, join any organization, get out there and do some work, of course. But this organization, the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, is literally carrying on the work of Marcus Garvey. And that just, knowing that I'm working under, Chairman Amalia Shatella, who has been doing this work for 50 years, just really makes me feel like I'm in the right place. So if you're a white person who is, wanting to do something, you're not sure what org, you're not sure who to donate to or what to do, please join the Uhuru Solidarity Movement.
Yes.
You can join at uhurusolidarity.org/join. And you can volunteer with us. You can simply give money. You can become a member and just donate monthly. There are all different kinds of ways that you can be a part of this movement. And I want to also address, I see Raina 3430 in the chat saying, liberate my pockets, give me money, please. And I just want to say to, Raina and Jesse, please jump in if you want to as well. What we've learned from the chairman is, as much as we want to liberate your pockets and give you money, reparations is about actually agitating the system and going against the system. So as much as I want to fill your pockets personally, Raina, we work under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party, who then gets to dictate what projects these reparations go into, where this money goes through the Black Power Blueprint, through the African People's Education and Defense Fund. Jesse, do you want to say anything else about that?
Well, I appreciate that. And what I want to say, I know we have to end soon, but I just wanted to shout out everybody who is watching we're on like 3 different platforms right now. And I see Jessica saying that they had the opportunity to work at the Uhuru House, and they're saying they were always shown love and were very welcomed by the organization there, and just how upsetting this was to see what was done to that flag. And I want to appreciate that statement. And if you're not already, Jessica, encourage you to become a member of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement and go to uhurusolidarity.org/join. And I'm extending that invitation to everybody who's watching, who wants to take a stand in solidarity with the African People's Socialist Party at this moment when it is under attack, when it is most important for us to unite with the party's struggle and leadership and fight back, to go to uhurusolidarity.org/join and become a member of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement today. And next week, we're having a reparations summer project in St. Louis, Missouri. We're going to have a lot of events and activities going on, but you can get involved wherever you're located. If you're in St. Pete, we have a branch that is in the process of being consolidated there, and everywhere else in the world where white people have dispersed ourselves through colonialism as colonizers, we have a responsibility and an interest to build this movement. So that's basically what I wanted to say. And thank you, Anya, and thank you everybody who participated today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Comrade Jesse. And yeah, thanks to everyone who's here on the Instagram Live. Thanks to everyone who's on Facebook. Thanks to everyone for dealing with our technical, issues, figuring out the audio. We appreciate it. And, we'll get all the links up. So if you want to read the article, if you want to join the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, all of that will be on all of our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, all of it. So thanks again, everyone, for joining. White people, stand up, fight back, okay? And as we always say, unity through
reparations.
Uhuru.